guys, it's HotShot
and Sparkman. Check out TDT Gaming for some awesome playmats. They just supplied both of our channels, so make sure you get one today. Hey YouTube, it's Sparkman here, and today I'm going to be showcasing my Shark deck profile. I came in top 25 at TCG Con in the PPG tournament, so that was like a major event, and our first placing was top 25 in a first ever big tournament, so that's pretty awesome, and really proud of myself. So I'm gonna tap myself on the shoulder real quick, and you know, it was really awesome. And of course, you know, HotShot was also playing in this tournament as well, and he came in top 16, so kudos to him, man. I mean, he played his heart out, and he did a great job. He got a invite as well to the PPG major tournament, so I can't wait for him to attend that if he does attend it. And if he does, I'm probably going to try to join him and go record and see how that event is as well, because PPG hosting some awesome tournaments, and really met some awesome people at this event as well. But let's get right to the deck profile, because that is what you came here to see. So first, we're running 3 Abyss Sharks. So this card is one of the newer cards from Duels from the Deep, and it is absolutely an awesome card. I think a lot of people should be running 3 of these. Basically, if you have a water monster on the field, you can special summon this card, and then you can special summon 1 water monster, I believe it's level 4 below, from your deck onto the field. And then, you know, they could also use their effects. So what I usually do is I use, you know, I bring out Abyss Shark if there's another water monster on the field. Then I'll search for Buzzsaw Shark. Then I'll use Buzzsaw Shark's effect and bring out another water monster from my deck onto the field. And from there, you pretty much have like 2 XC monsters you can make. So you can make 2 Bahamut Sharks, 2 Stealth Kraken, and, you know, from there, you know, you kind of take over the board, especially if you have a Gozen match. So yeah, we'll talk about that very soon. But next, I run 3 Lantern Sharks. 3 Lantern Sharks are really awesome as well, because if this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 you know, level 4 water monster from your hand onto the field, which is, again, this whole deck is run around water, so this is an awesome card. And then one of the newer cards as well is Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark is absolutely a fun card to use as well, because basically it's a level 5 but could be treated as a level 4. And what I usually do is sometimes I'll you know, use this card for an XC summon. Then I'll pitch it with Bahamut Shark's effect to bring out Totally Awesome. And I'll pitch this one out because then in the graveyard, it could special summon itself back out onto the field if you control a water monster, which is absolutely awesome. So another great card that they came out with in the Duels from the Deep set. And why I love Mako Tsunami so much and water cards, they just called to me, I swear to God. Unfortunately, Duels from the Deep set, of course, you guys know, it wasn't that great of a set, but they had some good key cards to help out a lot of main decks that are out right now that are topping, like Marincess and like this Shark deck, for example. Next is 2 Right Hand Shark. So Right Hand Shark is another awesome card that came out in Brothers of Legend. And basically, if this card is attached to an XC monster, it cannot be destroyed by battle. So that XC monster cannot be destroyed by battle, which is an amazing effect. And then on top of it, if you control no monsters on the field at like the end turn, or, you know, and you begin your turn, you can special summon this card out onto the field. And then from there, if you have another water monster in your hand, you can go have fun and XC some awesome monsters. Yeah, I mean, this deck is really combo. So you know, you just start going off with all your XC monsters once you get all your level 4s on the field. And then we play here 3 Silent Anglers. So funny thing about this card, for those that actually tend to use this card pretty wrong, actually. So sometimes you'll normal summon a monster and then you'll special summon this card out. But if you special summon this card out from your hand first, you can't special summon any more cards from your hand this turn that are water monsters. So just be careful of that, because that is going to hurt you in this deck. So make sure that you special summon all your cards from your hand first, and then go into Silent Angler if you have this card in your hand, because you don't want to just do that first and then you're stuck because you had all these other cards in your hand that you want to special summon. So just be aware of that. Another card we run is 2 Silent Anglers. 2 Silent Anglers is pretty self-explanatory, because if you control a war monster, you can special summon this card out. Again, another way that you could just start comboing to bring out your XC monsters, because that is what you're trying to do. And then we run 2 Tenny Spirit. I don't know how to say its last name, but I'm sure you guys can see the picture right here. So you guys, you know, you guys determine how to say that card's name. So basically, if you control no effect monsters on the field, you can special summon this card out as well. Another key card that I run this deck that comes in handy a lot, especially if that first turn you draw this card, I mean, you pretty much have a monster you can special summon right off the bat. And then I run one Exceeds Remora. So what one Exceeds Remora, what it basically does is, for example, I'll use this card on Stealth Kraken, especially if I have Gozen Match on the field, and I'll remove those two cards, the detachments of Stealth Kraken, to then bring them out, and then go into another Stealth Kraken, and then another Bahamut Shark, because you'll have an extra water monster out, and I'm pretty sure you can probably bring out another water monster if you're playing it smart as well. So yeah, so that's what I usually do. And then for the non-war monsters, I only run 3 hand traps, and that's just 3 effect veilers. So yeah, don't do anything too crazy in this deck in terms of running too many hand traps or too many of those like other cards in this deck. I just try to keep it really water based and try to, you know, just pop off with the cards I have that are water in this deck. And then I use 2 White Mirror. So for those that don't know what White Mirror does, basically it allows you to target 1 level 4 fish monster in your graveyard and special summon it onto the field. So that is really a really key card in this deck as well, because a lot of times you're kind of stuck, and then this card, you know, if you have a lot of fish monsters in your graveyard, this card comes in handy, and then you could bring out that monster into the field, and then you could search for the same fish monster in your deck to your hand, which then again you then start like pretty much the, you know, the merry-go-round of bringing back all your cards onto the field and starting to go into Stealth Kraken and Bahamut Shark again. So again, a really awesome card that really does a lot of neat tricks. And then I run 1 Ready Fusion and 1 Instant Fusion, just because, you know, why not? Rare fish is a thing, and it's an easy special summon to bring out to go into your XE monster. I run 1 Regeki, I run 1 Pot of Extravagance, and I run 2 Pot of Desires, because sometimes you can run into some trouble in some of your draws, and these cards come in handy. So Pot of Extravagance, Pot of Desires, very, very handy. And for the most part, we run 3 of in our extra deck, so Pot of Extravagance doesn't really hurt us as well. So yeah. And then I run 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, just in case, Call by the Grave, and 1 Monster Reborn. So some more self-explanatory spell cards that goes well with this deck. And then for our traps, we run 3 Gozen Match, because 3 Gozen Match is king in this deck because of Stealth Kraken, because it pretty much locks your opponent down. And I'll explain that more when we get to the extra deck. And Infinite Impermanence, only 1 of that. And then the 3 Solemn Strike. So it was a really, really good deck that I brought to the tournament, and it really did its job and comboed off pretty well for the most part. So we're gonna go into the extra deck real quick, and I'm gonna show you what some awesome cards that we were able to use that really made a difference in this deck. Because let me tell you something, this deck really popped off in the way I didn't think it would. So we're using 1 rare fish, of course, for our Instant Fusion or Ready Fusion. But here's the key card right here, the number 4 Stealth Kraken, and then also its twin brother, which I like to call it, Stealth Kraken Spawn. So Stealth Kraken Spawn and number 4 Stealth Kraken really do such a merry-go-round as well, because it's like a circle effect where you kill number 4 Stealth Kraken, and if it's destroyed by a card effect or by battle or whatever it is, you can bring out 2 Stealth Krakens if it has 2 attachments to number 4 Stealth Kraken. So that is a really awesome effect. And then the same thing happens if you destroy Stealth Kraken Spawn. You could go back into number 4 Stealth Kraken as well. And here's the other fun part about this as well, because yeah, this is really fun. If you have Gozen Match on the field, number 4 Stealth Kraken pretty much tells you can only control water monsters. So if your opponent has all light monsters in his hand, they cannot bring those cards out unless they can special summon it somehow. Otherwise, they're pretty much locked into this, game where I'm just like pretty much saying, you can't do anything, and I'm just going to keep attacking you, and this is how the game is going to be for the rest of the match. So, yeah, really fun deck. It's really fun to see your opponent kind of like get upset in that regard, but at the same time, you don't want to get your opponent upset because you're not trying to start any fights. But it's really fun to see the reaction, like, wait, I can't do anything? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So the next card we run on the extra deck is 2 Bahamas Sharks, and I actually run 3 Totally Awesomes, just in case. Just in case with Power Extravagance, we ditch some of these cards. It's good to have extra Totally Awesome in there. Again, really self-explanatory in this deck. Bring out Bahamas Shark, use its effect, bring out Totally Awesome, and it's pretty much a negate for anything on the field if your opponent's using an effect. Comes in handy a lot, so definitely worthwhile having in the deck. And then we run, other than these, we run, let's see here, the number 101, Silent Honor Arc, the Drill Driver Vespanado, and the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. And that pretty much rounds out the deck. And the thing is, yes, this was a major tournament, but I did not run a side deck. How crazy is that? I did not run a side deck, and yeah, I think I'm pretty crazy that I didn't do that. But for the next tournament, I will definitely be doing that. And I think because this was my first tournament, I kind of felt like kind of newbie, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to do that well. I'm just going in for fun, and I actually popped off. So really happy about that. My first game, I actually versus a Flawanderies player, and game 1 he won, game 2 I won, game 3 it was kind of like, okay, we have like 10 minutes left, we gotta like hurry this up kind of thing. And towards the end of it, he was stuck because I had Gozen match on the field, and I was just about to beat him if the turn had passed to me, because I would just use Stealth Kraken's effect to deal some damage to him, and I would have won the game. But we left in a draw, so that was unfortunate. So I draw my first game, 1-1 and 1, because that's basically what I went. But I believe it was XX1. I think that's what Hotshot tells me to say. So it's XX1, XX1. And then my second game I lost completely. So I was still XX1. And the third game I lost to, actually. And yeah, well, I did win some, so don't think I didn't win any. And then my fourth game, I did win. And then my fifth game I lost, but my sixth game I won as well. So I ended up going 2 games I won, 3 games I lost, and 1 game I drew. So yeah, not to confuse anybody. But it was really fun. And top 25, I'll take it. I actually was 25th, so yeah, just on that top 25 like edge right there. So definitely in the next tournament I'll be more prepared, and I think I could make this deck a lot more better as well, especially with the extra deck and the main deck as well, because I have some new things I'm thinking of running in the deck, so should be fun. And guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of the deck? What do you think cards I should add? I already have some ideas, like I said, but always willing to take some ideas as well. And yeah, I'm really happy I came in top 25 at TCG Con PPG tournament, and I'm happy that I went with Hotshot and he helped me kind of understand how to plan these tournaments a little bit better and be more prepared. And that's basically it, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile from yours truly, Sparkman, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and comment.